Okay, so here we are at our new account that's been installed at Chris Farrell Hosting. This is after we've gone in, uh, actually pointed the domain name from the domain registrar, which was Namecheap, um, to Chris Farrell Hosting. Went in and added, we actually went into the Chris Farrell hosting account, my account there, under another domain, added on this new domain, WordPress-PDF.com, into that account, did the WordPress installation. Here's the basic installation. Here is the new default theme under WordPress 3.x or 3.0.1 at the current moment. We have our title up here, WordPress Tutorial PDF, and I had the trouble with the D because of Camtasia. Here's the description for the site. We can come down here. Well, actually, let's see. There's an initial sample post, hello world. There's an initial page. We won't click on that right now. Those are just examples. It'll be deleted as you actually go in and start to add content. But if we go in and hit the login button, this just takes us back to the login spot. If I click on the username, it gives me my two options, which happens to be my administration names. WordPress tutorial automatically fills in the password because I've already gone in and played with this a little bit, so it did that. Hit login. It'll take us into the dashboard area for the WordPress installation. And here we are in the dashboard area. And this is the basic configuration of what you'll see kind of in your control panel, your dashboard for WordPress. This is where you go in and you add posts, you add pages, you can do things with links, you can add what are referred to as plugins, which is one of the cool things about WordPress is you can add these plugins that increases the functionality of this site. Things about SEO and linking to things and adding in like social media icons and a whole bunch of different things you can do with plugins. The appearance, you can go in and play with the themes, change the theme. You have something that are referred to as widgets. Another function you can add to like the sidebars and bring up different menu items and things like that. We'll go through that in future videos. There's menus associated with again, things you can add now into WordPress. This is part of the new system. To be honest, I haven't even gone and played with that yet. That's something I'm going to have to go and look at. And then there's things relative to the I don't think that's relative to just the theme. I'm going to check that out. But then there's things that are relative to the theme, like the background for the theme. So you can put in your own background image for the theme. You can play with a header. They have some default headers that they provide with you. This right now it's showing this nice little tree one up here. They have things with like icicles and I don't know, some special geometric design and kind of a fuzzy flower thing in a forest, and well, there's the pathway through the trees and the sunset. You can choose any one of those. I think it also tells you the size of that header image. So if you know how to do that, you can go and create your own, upload them, and get your own personalized header into that. And then there's some editor functions where you can actually go in and play with the code with this thing. Unless you know what you're doing, don't even think about it. Okay. So, and then you can define different users. There's a section called Tools, which we won't talk about for a while. But as we add some plugins, there'll be some functions that get added there. And then some settings, which we're going to go on and want to think about some things over the next few videos and what we'll do with the settings. And I'll show you something with a general setting here in a minute. But I'm going to scroll back up under the dashboard. We have the dashboard, and if there are any updates to things you have installed on your system, they'll show up ready to go so you can go in and do an automatic update. Here's the place where you add posts. Here's the place where you add pages, where you deal with comments, where you can put in link functions and different types of media, add things to the library, etc. All things we'll be looking at in the future as we do more videos. But right now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to come down here to the settings again. I'm going to go to General. And this will open up a window that does things like shows me the site title. And here's where I've got my screwed up D, so I'm going to change that to a capital. Nope, I'm going to change that later to a capital when I don't have Camtasia going. Okay, and I can, whoops, what is this? Okay, so that turns the pen off and on, I guess what the D does, the Shift D. So anyways, I'll change that later. I can't do that with Camtasia going. At some point I'll think of a new description here when I get something more meaningful. Now right now you'll notice that the address here is http://wordpress-tutorial pdf.com. It doesn't have the www in there. And most people nowadays expect to see the www. Technically it doesn't have to be there, but there are some, again, ramifications. People are expecting it. And there's some other things we'll address about that later, but I'm going to want to put the www in there. So if I go back in here and I add www dot to there, and if I add www dot to there, so now I've got http://www dot wordpress-tutorial-pdf.com, and I come down here and I save it, it's actually going to go in and change it for me. But since I changed the site, the location of the site, technically speaking, it just threw me out of WordPress. But I can quickly go over here, type in my little W, bring up WordPress tutorials. Nope, tutorial. Oh, crap. And it's not remembering my, I'll hold that for a minute. Okay, momentary brain freeze there. WP tutorials is the one I want. And it's not remembering my password automatically for some mysterious reason, so I'll just enter it. Remember me. And we'll log back into our WordPress dashboard area, and one of the things you may notice up here, we now have www.wordpresstutorial.com, and we're back into the WP admin area, which is the dashboard, the actual control panel, if you will, for WordPress. Okay, so there's some things to think about. Now, what did I do? I came down here to General, and the initial installation did not have the www before the WordPress tutorial pdf.com. I added that, and I've now invoked that into the site. One of the things I'm going to do is, since I'm sitting here in the Midwestern part of the United States, I'm going to come up here, find Chicago, and just save it for where we're at. So now that my time's all lined up, and there'll be some other things we do here in the not too distant future. Anyways, a basic introduction into the dashboard area of WordPress, some of the things you'll find back there as far as the theme and plugins and the general settings, etc. And again, we'll be going through more of this as we move forward.